Hey there, YouTube land. So today we are going to be continuing the collector series, and we're going to be talking about a lot of DVD box sets that maybe just passed you, or maybe you're just getting into it, and you're going straight for Blu-ray, which is great because there's a lot of great stuff that Blu-ray has to offer. But DVD is still around, and there's some great stuff that, especially if you started collecting, it's a really good time to pick up. And a lot of this stuff, most of this stuff, has either not come out on Blu-ray or the editions just aren't the same. So we're going to look into that, and we're going to look into a few different things. And I'll tell you why these are some of my picks that I think you should have or try on DVD, especially if some of these are ones that genre interest you. So I'm going to start off with Shriek Show. Shriek Show is a company that they do a lot of kind of different, like, stranger stuff. I know they put out a few Giallos, put out some Giallos, and I did think they may have done a Grizzly or Day of the Animal, one of those two, back before they went on Blu-ray and stuff like that. But this one here is one that I really do recommend. It's an extremely cool one. It has three very strange, unique Italian films, and know this when you're going in. These are some pretty different kind of Giallo types, and just very different styles of filmmaking. And it's the Psycho Killer triple feature. I really stand by this one. This is a slimlined edition. There is a kind of a box edition that has three of them with their own cases, and you know, kind of like three cases like this. So if you can get that one, you can find that one. Excellent. I recommend it because not there's anything different content-wise. It still has it on all three discs, and of course, this in the days of DVD, especially, Easter eggs were abundant, and you get to see some great ones on here. But if either way, this is a really cool one to have. Delirium is stars Serena Grande, and if you know Serena Grande, she was kind of like an Italian horror, like, well, not a horror. She's Italian, kind of a sex symbol, and you can see why. It's very abundantly clear. And Delirium is it is a cool movie though. We get to see like the killer's perception of like what he's seeing, which is really, really cool. A lot of times when we watch these movies, we see from the killer's POV, or and that's that's where it goes. The camera like replaces the killer, putting you like either in the killer, either kind of like putting you on edge, or kind of putting you at the point where you don't really where you not so much you are the killer, but putting you in that place, that uncomfortable place, so it helps to heighten the fear and stuff, or they try to do that. But in Delirium, to go that one step farther, where the killer is seeing some horrific things, and we're seeing what the killer is seeing, and it was a really unique and artistic style to take in it. So the killer is literally killing what I think he thinks are some horrific creatures. So definitely check it out. House on the Edge of the Park is one that Deodato did, and some people say it's kind of like a cash-in. Of course, Last House on the Left and stuff like that. But for me, I really liked House on the Edge of the Park. It has the same star in there, of course, but recognize him. It's like Krug. But it is, I don't know, I like it better. I do. I really do like it more than like the Last House on the Left. It just had the storyline was more concise. The ending of this one I really liked. I liked the twist. Just did some really cool stuff. And the third one, Beyond the Darkness, is one that I wasn't sure if I was going to like or not. It was a really dark film. Kind of different. Kind of like, you just got to see. I don't want to tell you too much about these films, but I got to say, the Shriek Show Psycho Killer Collection, I don't think these are out on Blu-ray. If they are, I would definitely upgrade some of these, but I wouldn't get rid of this either, because this was a great introduction to me for three great films that has some like audio commentaries on here. We've got interviews, trailers, and if you look around, especially on the Joe D'Amato one, you're going to find some neat little Easter eggs that are really worth looking for. So, Shriek Show Psycho Killer set, definitely pick it up. Not on Blu-ray. Next up is one you can get for a pittance, for just a tiny bit. It runs like $5, maybe $10 usually. and sometimes you can find it for even less. And that was this one here, the Howling Trilogy. I'm sure you're familiar with the Howling, which came out on Scream Factory, and of course the Howling 2, you're just as aware of, which a lot of us are waiting for. But what about the other Howling films? Some of the kind of fun, cheesier, like cult classics. Some that a lot of us really actually do want to see on Blu-ray in really good editions. Well, if you want to see the films, or if you're not familiar with them, definitely pick this up. This is a great one. This came in this kind of like a tin thing. It's all embossed and sexy, and it'll look right in your collection, by the way. And people will probably think it's cost more than it did. It has Howling 3, the marsupials, which is, of course, Philip Mora, who did he did a lot of movies, man. I think he did The Beast Within. Did he do The Beast Within? Maybe. Anyway, we're going to say he did The Beast Within. And if it's not, then I'm going to do this whole thing over again. But it's got some like decent people in it. Barry Humphries is in this, by the way. Of course, this is done in Australia. And definitely it's worth seeing. But for me, the big ones were Howling 5 and Howling 6. Howling 5, it's like they forgot the werewolf costume. Literally, I think it was lost or something like that along the way. But when they shot it, they utilized what they did very well. It's shot in a castle. It's kind of a mystery. Kind of harkens back to the whole The Beast Must Die type of thing, where you got to kind of figure out who the werewolf is. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us the werewolf minute, but it does give us a really kind of a cool whodunit thing, the werewolf. Now, Freaks, with part 6, we've got another great kind of vampires versus werewolves type of thing going on with this freak show. And if you watch the American Horror Story freak show, then maybe you're kind of in the mood for this. Great one, not on Blu-ray, so I want to see those movies get great features and come on Blu-ray down the road. But it is definitely a sexy looking box, and it belongs in all your collections, especially if you like the werewolf movies. Here's one that was never put on Blu-ray, and it didn't really need it. It's a great edition. The transfers are amazing because it's Criterion, and this one especially did a great job. And it is Monsters and Madmen. When you want like Criterion's and horror, and you're kind of like mixing those worlds together, this is hands down for me the box set to get. This got The Haunted Strangler, which for me is one of Boris Karloff's very best films. He just such a great job in this one here. And it stuck with me when I was a kid. And definitely. And Quarters of Blood. And of course the two sci-fi ones, First Man into Space, The Atomic Submarine. Got some great features. And this has some of the just coolest, modest, sexiest artwork out there. Criterion often gets like labeled for having a lot of their art on their cases be kind of bland, kind of boring. They kind of changed it up, the Zadichi stuff and all that. But way before that, number 364 Monsters and Madmen set. It's a great set, very artistically done. Some great films, and actually some pretty cool features on here as well. But definitely one to pick up. I strongly recommend this if you like kind of classic horror and you like horror sci-fi. The Monsters and Madmen set is a must-buy. Next up is one if you like into the cult films. Now, one of these movies has a fantastic Blu-ray, kind of a digibook edition out there, like 25th anniversary thing. The other one doesn't, and you can usually get this one for fairly inexpensive. So this is a way to get both of these films together, the original and its sequel, and its much maligned sequel, in my opinion, the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Shock Treatment. Give something away. I'm going to be doing some podcasts down the road. I actually got my GarageBand and my iPad and everything set up for it. But one of the things that I was going to talk about, and this is a sneak preview, are like scenes in movies that kind of like other little known movies or movies that didn't get acclaim that kind of like stood out to me, that kind of made me go kind of wow. And one of them was a scene in this movie here, Shock Treatment. Shock Treatment was the sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, unfortunately, not a lot of people know it. Not enough people know it. It's a much smarter film than you would realize. Now, one of the cool things about this is that there's an actor in the movie that plays a dual part. And where Shock Treatment is a musical, near the end of the film, he has a duet with himself or the other character. What's really brilliant about this is that he does this duet with these two characters who are kind of like extremely polar opposites, and man, he pulls it off. He really, really makes it look good. He does different like styles for both the other people that are in the song, and it's just one of those times when you're like, why didn't more people see this? More people deserve to see that. It's one of those oh wow moments that not a lot of people know, because unfortunately not a lot of people see the movie. Rectify that. See Shock Treatment. It's a really good movie, and that double feature there, even if you do already have the Blu-ray, is a really nice one, because Shock Treatment isn't an easy one to get, and this is the 25th anniversary edition, so they actually have a few features on here as well. And I think the Rocky Horror Picture one runs like 2 discs, so gonna get a lot of cool stuff on there. This movie has a lot of Blu-ray editions out there. I mean, it's got a few. It's got Arrow did it. I think Anchor Bay put one out. There are a few, but there was only one Ultimate Edition. And that is Dawn of the Dead. This is one of the original, like, crap, this is so cool box sets that came out there. It's got the US theatrical version, the European version, the extended version, a bunch of documentaries, features and kind of commentaries on every one of them, and just some amazing stuff. It's even got a comic book. See, when they did a lot of the DVD editions and stuff, DVDs are bigger, and the sets tend to be sometimes a bit more bulkier before they went to slimline, and that helped them put more into the discs. So not on the discs themselves, but actually in there. So there's actually a comic book in here. There's like a map of Monroe Mall. There's some great artwork, some really amazing stuff that's been done. As much as I'd like to say, yes, I would love to have that Arrow Blu-ray that's out of print of Dawn of the Dead, I would never give up my Ultimate Dawn of the Dead edition. It really is, for me, the Ultimate Edition, and it may not be the Blu-ray remaster, but it's incredible, and you cannot take anything away from that set. And that's the same thing with this one here. This one has a Blu-ray edition, a few Blu-ray editions. This is one of those movies that's had a lot of editions anyway, but only has one Ultimate Edition, and that is Evil Dead. It's just a very kind of a cool, sexy-looking package, really well done, and you know, it seems like the average set, but it's got this great box here that you get some different great artworks from different releases of Evil Dead being shown on here, and some amazing stuff, some just very amazing read on art. We got like the full frame and widescreen edition. Why full frame? Because that's the original aspect ratio, my friends. And the Ladies of Evil Dead, which is a very, very cool documentary that I didn't think was going to be. I picked this up at Walmart when they were, you know, kind of like going into the DVD, kind of starting in the Blu-rays, and there was a Halloween sale. And it was actually, it was like $20. So that's definitely affordable and worth picking up. Although I have the Blu-ray edition, and I'm going to be getting the Arrow definitive Blu-ray edition, which I'm sure it's going to be, it's good to have some of these in your collection. These are kind of movies that attract attention. So here, let me get both of them that I have. I only have 2 of them. There's a few of these that are out. And for collecting purposes too, some things you get for collecting purposes. I mean, there's something, if you like the movie, like, don't just buy something just to buy it. But so we double dip because we're with stuff that we really, really like. And I'm sure Joker and Steve would be definitely better to tell you about the Halloween stuff, because he's got all of it. But these here, Anchor Bay put out these tins, and they made them limited editions. Like, they're all numbered on the back, and they all had like let's open one up for you if I can. It's been a while. So each of these would have like a huge, really thick book, like of like different, could be just like pictures, stills, some writing on there as well. Just Yeah, very sexy. They'd include the sheet, basically the movie poster, and the chapter selection on the back. And then they put them in these here, like, in these CD type jewel cases, which is kind of a unique, different way to do it. So it all come together in this here. And I bought this off of a, there was this company, and they're selling a bunch of movies to basically support an Evil Dead documentary they're making. If you've seen any of my things around, especially around the convention time, I've got this Evil Dead t-shirt that I wear, and that's from that, like, in support of the making of that documentary. So it just has some incredible stuff here. I wonder how much people paid for this originally, because actually the receipt is in here. What else did they buy? Alrighty. So, wherever I got this from, again, they bought this at Music World. And it was, $57.47 at the time. And then on a separate receipt, they also bought a Rage Carry 2 Special Edition. Netherworld, well, I love that. And Revolution Special Edition. Isn't it neat when you buy something like that? It's like somebody's owned. They've taken really good care of it, and you open it up, and it's got like it's like a little bonus thing, like a seeing into somebody else's perspective. And just for fun, we'll look into the Hellraiser ones as well. Again, we got the really cool booklet, some great pictures. I love this one here, and just some amazing stuff on here. I love the movie Hellraiser. I really, really do. I love the second one just maybe even a little bit more on what to do with it. This one here has, of course, Hellraiser, the poster thing. This one has Hellbound Hellraiser 2. And why? Because even though it doesn't, this just gives you, like, it says Hellraiser right on the side 10. In actuality, if you look on the back of it, you'd know that this one here is the DVD edition of not just Hellraiser, but also Hellraiser Hellbound, the sequel, the best 2 films in the series. And it comes in this snazzy here tin. And for collecting purposes, these things are amazing. And find a place to put them, definitely these things deserve display. And if you can come across these, definitely pick them up. I wish I had number 4, and there's a couple other tins that I want as well. But I haven't been able to come across them yet. But one of these days, guys, one of these days. See, there's a lot out here on DVD that just haven't come to Blu-ray, or some that have even come to Blu-ray that are just really cool. So we got about 4 or 5 more to go through, and then we'll call it a night for this one here. Next up is, of course, one that I think belongs in everybody's collection. And is there a Blu-ray edition? No, I don't think there's one coming anytime soon. They're older films. They were done extremely well, and it's the Val Lewton Collection. And there are 2 editions, but I recommend getting the one with the Martin Scorsese documentary. This has a ton of movies on it. We got Cat People, Curse the Cat People, I Walk the Zombie, Body Snatcher, All of the Dead, Bedlam, Leopard Man, The Ghost Ship, the good version, the Seventh Victim, Shadows of a Doubt, the Val Lewton Legacy documentary, and of course the secondary documentary, well, not secondary, but the other documentary, Val Lewton, The Man in the Shadows. It's just really great movies, really great documentaries, 2 of them, and you can't go wrong with this set. I really recommend it to anyone that asks me, what is one that you really should have? This is one. If you're a horror fan and want to see the classic stuff, and want to see stuff really done well, want to see that's scored well, that's shot really well, that actually uses some brilliant scenes. There's a scene, I think it's in Cat People. I'm trying to remember, because it's been a while since I've seen them. Cat and the Curse kind of go together with me. But there's a mother, I think she sent her daughter out to do something anyway. So it's kind of knocking on the door to get in type of thing. And she doesn't go right away. And she turns to go around, and there's blood that comes behind under the door. I hope I'm remembering this totally right. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I just remember that image just kind of like chilled me, because it's just a thought, here you are and you're that close, and it's just one of these normal everyday things. Oh, I'm going to get the door in a second. And then you're like, she's completely shattered because maybe she stopped doing whatever she was doing at the time, chopping vegetables, watching TV, whatever it is. Uh, she could have entered the door in that 2 seconds would have made that much difference. It's a horrifying thing to think. Yeah, it's brilliantly done with Val Lewton's films. He's an amazing producer, produced some incredible work, so check it out. I think every horror collection needs at least one of these. There was a kind of a horror film festival that came out called 8 Films to Die For, and they did it for like a few different years, and every year they put out like this big box set. And I am a huge fan of like independent horror and like a lot of the stuff that's not as well known. So when I had the opportunity to get an actual box set of 8 Films to Die For, with all their slips and everything on them, I could not pass it up. It had a couple movies on here that I was really, really interested in. I love to be able to get the other ones done, but they are kind of expensive. I don't want to get the slimline versions that are out there. They tend not to have every movie that belongs in the set. So this is 8 Films to Die For, of course, the After Dark Horror Fest. I'm not quite sure which year this one is. You can usually tell them. We're going to say 2007, 2006. I guess maybe you guys can let me know. But I had some great ones on this set. We got like Nightmare Man with Tiffany Shepis, and I found this to be a really, really fun, good film. Watched it several times. The Death of Ian Stone, I actually really did like. I think it could have been better, but overall I think it was a really fun film, really, really interesting. Borderland, I really did enjoy, and Mulberry Street. That's kind of is a polar one for people that either really like Mulberry Street or they really don't. And I'm one of the guys that really did like it. And just to show you, they have some great features on here, and each one of them, again, this one I have these amazing covers and stuff. These slips are amazing. And of course, the Miss Horror Fest contest of webisodes is in this one here. But just look at the way these are done. Are these not brilliantly, brilliantly made? Would you not want to pick it up, even if it was just like one of those movies? Wouldn't you, like, if you saw this at a store, wouldn't you like pick it up? I hope you're saying yes, because this is pretty sexy stuff. So 8 movies, bunches of features on every one of these. I want to revisit some of these movies again here. I really don't remember Crazy Eights, but I should, because Tracy Lords was in that one, and I got to revisit that one. If you can get the original edition of this one as well, because I think they did like a slim case with that 4 of the movies on there, but there's 6 altogether in the original one, and that is the Twisted Terror collection. Very cool, very, very cool collection. One of the big things about this one is that when this one came out, there's a movie called Deadly Friend that Wes Craven did, and it had been put out before, but it had been put out cut, man. It was like cut in pieces. Well, not really cut in pieces, but there's a couple really cool death scenes, like the basketball scene. It's got to have the basketball scene. And this version, that was in this version, these were, and same with, there was another film on it called, I think, Oz the Stranger, which I think was, it may have even been a TV thing, but it was, for some reason, it was uncut here for the first time. So we got The Hand with Oliver Stone, you know, one of the few like horror movies he directed. He directed Seizure as well. Dr. Giggles, of course, it's another classic. I'm sure Dr. Giggles is going to come out in Scream Era one of these days, but I'm so proud to have this edition here that freaks out my better half because of this here picture. Someone's Watching Me, you know, a Carpenter film that's actually pretty damn good. Actually, most of the Carpenter stuff is good. He gets ragged on sometimes, but he's made a lot of really great stuff. From Beyond the Grave, which is an Amicus classic anthology one that I really do recommend that you guys pick up. Got Peter Cushing in here. We got David Warner in the first story. Leslie Ann Down. Some amazing stuff. Of course, Deadly Friend, which I spoke to you about. And of course, Eyes of a Stranger with Jennifer Jason Leigh, her first credited screen role. I like that one. Maybe that was the one that had the... one of them had like a scene in it with Tom Savini did actually with a beheading. Really worth checking out. Next up, and you got to go to a convention and get this one, guys. I go to the Montreal Comic Con. I try to every year. I don't get to go every year now. I used to go every year. Lately, I've been working and stuff like that, and you know, school got in the way, and there's other stuff that I had to do. But I love the Comic Cons. I really get to connect with a lot of people that I want to meet, and a lot of, like, more so than that, a lot of like other fans and a lot of other people like me, kind of like just big geeks who want to find out more about this stuff. And I find a lot of stuff, and I find a lot of the independent and indie stuff there. And that's one of the real treasures for me, is to go and meet guys like Lloyd Kaufman and talk to them about trauma, and meet some of the guys that were in some of the trauma films, and talk about movies like Poltergeist and stuff like that, or I find really fun and hilarious. But, they're not for everybody. But there's this festival that's done in Montreal called Spasm, Festival Spasm, and they have like a lot of like short films. So when I went to the Montreal Comic Con, they had the Festival Spasm box set, right? So this was actually not, and you see these here? These aren't the ones that are all there. So basically, they had a bunch of these, and you could go and you could pick out. You can make your own box set. It was kind of make your own box set type of thing, where you would go and you pick out stuff you wanted. Some of the stuff here is just in French, and so on a couple of these, but they're short films and they're very visual and evocative, and you can really tell what's going on. There's no like guess. You have having to guess here. So here's some ones that I picked up anyway. I got a volume 4. Don't you just love the covers on these things? They're really sexy. I got a volume 3. I got their what's one that's actually it's a movie, and Burn Paris Burn. I really gotta check that out. I haven't seen this one yet, but I heard good stuff about it. And of course, I have volume 2. I like to have the Ron McDonald volume 1 there kind of thing, and I got one that and there's a documentary that I got as well. So I put the documentary with my other documentaries, and I wanted to put something else in there from the convention. So it's kind of a cool one that I picked up that had like a lot of Scream Queens in it. It was the Demon Divas and the Ladies of Damnation. I got to review this sometime. It's got Amy Lynn Best, Brink Stevens, Debbie Rochon, Robin Griggs, Lilith Stabs. Just there's a bunch more. There's a lot of like of kind of like Scream Queens in this one here, and I got to meet Amy Lynn Best, and nice girl. I didn't get to speak to her very long. I was really tired. I was nursing flu at the time, so I just got my bought the DVD and got it signed, and now on Blu-ray. If there ever was an argument for still buying DVD and DVD's edition of things, even stuff that are on Blu-ray, this is it. This is still to this day considered to be one of the sets to buy in horror. It was universally loved when it came out, and even to this day, with a Blu-ray set out there, this still tends to be the set of this film series to get, hands down. And it's the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Nightmare on Elm Street collection was considered by many to be the penultimate set of any franchise that was put out there. Until the until the Halloween films came out in their Scream Factory set, I don't think you could actually touch this set. There was no Blu-ray set that actually came out there that said, this is as definitive as this. And this was great. I mean, like they came these snapper cases, but each one had its original poster artwork, which was really great. What was really fantastic was seeing number 2 its original poster art, because number 2's artwork is absolutely gorgeous, just amazingly done. And one of the cool things, the ultra cool features on this thing is this here. We got to have the Nightmare Series Encyclopedia. It's a disc that every horror fan wanted to own and was so excited when they got the set so that they could get this disc. There's a lot of stuff, and it's got a labyrinth, almost like a game where you're like going through this like the school and discovering all of this, all these kind of like neat little features and stuff. Nowadays everything's put on where it needs to go, or there's features are lined up with the movie and stuff like that. But this was a really unique and different way to do it. And if you haven't seen it, oh man, really, really, the set is not that expensive now to pick up. I strongly recommend it. It came with a great book, by the way, and the 3D scenes were actually in 3D on the 6th one. So it's cool to have those as well. The book's just fantastic. There's write-ups on every one of the films, just some really great stuff. And it even talks about the instructions for the DVD-ROM use here, how to play the Nightmare Series Encyclopedia. There's ways to get it and do it, and kind of like just go through things. But you can play the game and unlock more stuff, unlock different endings and stuff like that for the original film. There was screensavers you could download to your computer that you could use as well. Just some really cool stuff. So if you're a DVD fan and you have a friend that just is into their Blu-ray and that's it, and you know this is the ultimate, and there's nothing that you can say to like kind of sway them at all. If you've got this set, take it out, show them, and remind them that DVD still rocks and still does some really great stuff. I would never get rid of any of my Blu-rays or my DVDs. I have double dipped when need be on some really, really cool stuff. And I think my cat is losing her mind, which is just one of those nights for her. So, thanks for watching. Sorry, I got cat bombed. Cats, there. Say hi to the giant lobster head up there who's been watching over this video. And you know what? He's a DVD collector as well. He likes his Blu-rays, but he likes his DVDs and his VHS. There's so many great formats out there to collect. Too many. From CED to Laserdisc to DVD to Blu-ray to, I don't know, to little golden books. That's not really a format, but I ran out to beta. When you're starting to collecting, DVD can be often a cheaper way to go. And don't think that because it's cheaper that it's always lesser. I think through looking at these box sets here that we've seen, the tin collections, the you know, some of the Criterion stuff that's not on Blu-ray, you can see that just because it's not on Blu-ray doesn't mean it's not worth getting. And just because you might be able to get it for a little bit cheaper doesn't mean that price equals quality of the film. So, got a little message over there on my phone. Got to check it out because got a big day tomorrow. I got to bring some stuff to my new cubicle because we are allowed at this job to actually personalize it, like really personalize it. So, oh, this guy's going with me. Everybody's favorite clown. Have a great night, guys. Collect and get the stuff that you love the most. Hopefully there's some great examples there from stuff that you either have in your collection and you've had for a while, or if you just started collecting, you can say, you can go on whether it's online or you've seen it at your local shop and you're like, man, I passed that up. I can go back and pick that out. That actually was worth getting. Everything here is worth getting. Everything here is worth checking out. So if you haven't checked these out, definitely do so. Keep up to date with your collecting, your Blu-rays and stuff like that you like. But if you just whether you're just starting out or you want to get some of the classic stuff, you just want to like throw stuff over the all around because you're a klutz like me, and which I am tonight. Stuff like this is priceless. It's worth having in anybody's collection, and Pennywise recommends it. For me right now, it's time for tea, and I gotta check the message on my phone because you never know. Maybe there's another set that I need to pick up. Birthday's coming up, and although I'm getting some Blu-rays, not a lot, just a couple things from family and that, and maybe some comic stuff. There's some DVD stuff that's worth checking out as well. Have a great night, and I hope you're enjoying the Collector Series. I really enjoy bringing this to you guys, and there's a lot of stuff to pick up. A lot of fun stuff.